Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie.
Today we're looking at part 3 of our article, Saving Endangered Languages. So we've talked a lot about how there are a lot of languages in the world that are at risk of going away, of dying out and no longer having any speakers. But we need to think of some ways that we can save these languages.
Ooh, do you have any ideas?
Well, I think...
Use a time machine.
That might be one.
Okay.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah. Do you have a time machine?
I unfortunately don't. Another option might be, putting them onto apps, making an app that you can learn each of these languages through so that you can,
Oh, so make it like easy for people to, they're on the subway, they can just look at their phone.
Fun to play, it's fun to do. You'll have people just learning it for fun that way.
Okay, that's a great idea. What else? Well, I love this Irish singer called Hozier.
Okay.
And his music actually has a lot of Irish in it, even though he sings predominantly, mostly in English. But actually, after his newest album, a lot of people have been starting to go on these like language learning apps and websites, and they're starting to learn Irish too.
Okay, so that's one way through pop culture, through popular musicians and artists that can encourage people to try to learn the language because you love the music and want to understand it.
Right.
And I certainly know, although it's not an endangered language, a lot of people are learning Korean these days.
Oh, yes.
Because their favorite music is sung in Korean.
There's no chance of Korean ever being an endangered language. All right, well, let's go and see what today has to offer. We are continuing part 3 of Saving Endangered Languages.
According to the United Nations, one native language dies every 2 weeks. However, there are projects to stop the loss of endangered languages. People are using technology to help them with that. Some upload videos of people speaking the languages. Others use AI to record the languages and feed them into chatbots.
Hello everyone, today we are looking at part 3 of this article, Saving Endangered Languages. So in parts 1 and 2, we talked a lot about how there are so many languages that are at risk of dying out, of going away, of having people no longer speak them. And that's because, young people from their communities would move to the cities and start to speak the more common language of the cities and then totally forget their language. And also the older people from their communities are, getting old and dying out, so no one is passing on the language. So now today we're going to talk about some things that can be done to save them.
All right, let's continue on with the article. According to the United Nations, one native language dies every 2 weeks. That's fast. That's really, really fast and really, really sad.
That's very quick and it's worrisome.
Yeah.
Continue with the article. However, there are projects to stop the loss of endangered languages. So a project is an effort to do something to achieve a certain goal that is done through a plan of certain steps that need to be followed. So this is a collective effort, an effort of a group of people, or maybe a project can also be just one person, but in this case we're talking about groups that are doing something to stop these languages from being lost.
Right. Well, let's go to Tina.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Project 名词专案。The project starts next week. 这个专案下星期开始。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚课文提到了 according to 加名词，根据什么 ？According to 是介系词片语。我们来看看这个例句。According to the weather forecast, it will rain tomorrow. 根据天气预报，明天会下雨。Forecast 指的就是预报。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thank you so much, Tina. Let's continue on with the article. People are using technology to help them with that. And by that, we're talking about how to preserve these languages and how they're using these for their projects.
Technology like time machines? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, continuing with this article, some upload videos of people speaking the languages.
Oh, so they're kind of like keeping a library full of these things so that in the future you can always listen to them.
Right, so if you're able to hear how someone actually spoke the language, then you should be able to learn the language even if the language has already died out.
That's true.
You know, one of the reasons, the Latin language became an extinct language because no one spoke it. And today there are people who speak the language of Latin, but we can't really know if they're speaking it properly because there's no way to hear how people actually spoke.
Exactly. Well, continuing on with the article, others use AI to record the languages and feed them into chatbots. So this is actually a really great way to preserve the language, or in other words, to keep the language. We record it. And to record something means to mark down using technology or writing. In this case, we're going to use maybe a voice recorder or a video recorder to preserve how a language sounds. And this is really helpful because then they can use AI to, later on in the future, you could have a conversation with a robot.
Yeah, a robot that speaks a language that
is almost dead?
Maybe. Okay, so you can feed these recordings into chatbots. So to feed something into something else means to sort of insert or to put something into usually a machine. In this case, we are talking about putting the data or the recorded information into a chat box, so you're into a chat bot. So you're loading it into this chat bot so that that chat bot will have all of the information and is able to speak the language.
Right.
You might also think about feeding a dollar bill into a vending machine. So it's a lot more like you are actually feeding something because it eats your money and takes it away.
And then pukes out a candy bar. Well, let's go and see what Tina has to say.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 record 动词录制影音 Nina recorded a video of her birthday party. Nina 录制了一段她生日派对的影片。文法的部分刚刚提到了 feed A into B 将 A 输入 B A 是材料 B 是机器 feed 在这里表示供应，它的三态是 feed fed. 我们来看看这个例句 Zach fed the data into the computer. Zach 把资料输入到电脑里。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thank you, Tina. As sad as it is to know that every 2 weeks there's a language that is dying, it is also making me very hopeful to know that there are people who are so passionate about keeping languages alive and trying to preserve that culture for everyone.
That's right. We have a lot of technology today that can help us to do this. So it's not, in the past, maybe people could only write down a language, but that wouldn't allow you to know how it actually sounds.
Yeah.
But today we have a lot of other ways to do that and actually, keep these languages alive in some way.
Right. So remember, everyone at home, if you do speak a special language, make sure you pass some stories down to other people so that you can keep that language alive. Let's go to the second part of the article and we'll be right back.
Still others use robots to teach children the languages through games and stories. Some endangered languages are slowly coming back. That's because more people can see their importance. They're fighting to keep them alive too.
Welcome back. Before the break, we mentioned that the United Nations has said that a language dies every 2 weeks. So it's happening very quickly, but not to be too worried because there are some solutions coming. Some people are starting to use technology to try to save these languages by using things like AI to, use that language and put it into a chatbot so people can speak to it. People are also recording videos and putting them online so that people in the future will always be able to hear the way that language sounded. So there are some ways that these languages can be saved.
So there is hope after all. Okay, well, let's continue on with the article. Still, others use robots to teach children the languages through games and stories. I want a robot that teaches me languages.
Yeah, I think if I had a language robot that could be my robot friend and language teacher, then I'd have more friends.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, a robot is a machine that can perform an action. In this case, I'm sure this robot has a screen on it that will help interact with the child. And as we know, as children, it is easier for them to learn languages the younger they are. So that is actually very hopeful.
Back to our article, some endangered languages are slowly coming back.
Oh, that's very nice.
So through these methods that people are doing, using technology, we're actually seeing some languages starting to come back, starting to have more and more speakers again.
Right, so it's nice to know that we're not doomed after all. Well, let's go see what Tina has to say.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 robot 名词机器人 Robots can help people do hard work 机器人可以帮助人们做困难的工作。文法的部分刚刚提到了 come back 恢复复苏 After the break, my energy came back 休息后我的精神恢复了。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thanks, Tina. Let's get back to this article. That's because more people can see their importance. So that means more people can see the importance of these languages to their communities and cultures.
Yeah.
Now, importance is a noun that means the value or the greatness of something. So if something is important, which is an adjective, then it has importance, the noun. So there is importance to languages and local languages because they are important to cultures.
Right, and so that just shows that saving a language can be done, but it all starts with someone wanting to save it in the first place. And so let's continue on with the article. They're fighting to keep them alive too. And I have to say, without these people that care about preserving languages, there'd probably be even more languages that are gone. And if they didn't put all of the effort into saving it, that'd be really sad. But let's go to Tina.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 importance 名词重要性 The teacher talked about the importance of reading 老师谈到了阅读的重要性接着我们回到课文当中
All right, thank you, Tina. Well, I don't know about you, Matt, but I actually don't have a time machine.
Well, that's too bad, but luckily there are some ways to help save languages that we've learned about today. So all hope is not lost despite not having a time machine.
Yeah, I can listen to music. I can look at the videos that they have already put into these AI chatbots. I think I might even learn a language or two now.
All right, well, it's time to get out there and learn a language or refresh your learning of a language that you've already done. But that's all for us today. So let's review the article again and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
According to the United Nations, one native language dies every 2 weeks. However, there are projects to stop the loss of endangered languages. People are using technology to help them with that. Some upload videos of people speaking the languages. Others use AI to record the languages and feed them into chatbots. Still others use robots to teach children the languages through games and stories. Some endangered languages are slowly coming back. That's because more people can see their importance. They're fighting to keep them alive too.
们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，project 名词专案 ，record 动词录制影音 ，robot 名词机器人 ，importance 名词重要性。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，according to 加名词根据什么 ？According to the report, the thief worked at the shop. 根据报道，那名小偷在这间店工作过。Feed A into B 将 A 输入 B。Can you feed all the songs into the player? 你可以把所有歌曲汇入播放器吗 ？Come back 恢复复苏。I lost feeling in my arm, but then it started to come back. 我这只手臂麻掉了，但后来开始慢慢恢复了。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, did you hear? The bigwig is coming today to our office.
Bigwig? Who's that supposed to be?
It just means somebody who's really important in our office. And by important, I mean the CEO, Mr. Thompson.
So that's why everyone is scrambling to look their best.
Yeah, I even tidied up my desk and even printed out a couple of reports.
Oh no, I guess I better be on my best behavior too. Oh, no one wants to slip up in front of the bigwig.
Hi everyone, today we're talking about the word bigwig.
That's right. A bigwig refers to an important or influential person, often in business, politics, or any organization.
The word bigwig comes from the idea of wigs worn by powerful people in the past. The bigger the wig, the higher the status.
Right. So now it's often used to describe CEOs, politicians, celebrities, or anyone who's considered a VIP in their field.
For example, the bigwig from headquarters is coming to inspect the office today.
Or during the gala, all the bigwigs in the fashion industry were present.
Just keep in mind, it's a casual term, so you'll mostly hear it in everyday talk when people are chatting about someone in charge.
Exactly. And that's all for today.
All right, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.